Did you know the Light Fury might actually be stronger than Toothless? And the movies may have been hiding her true power this whole time? And what if Hiccup and Toothless secretly figured out how to defeat the Red Death long before the final battle even happened? Today on Dragolix, we're uncovering 10 hidden things you completely missed in How to Train Your Dragon. But first, if Toothless is your favorite dragon of all time, drop a dragon in the comments. And if you're new to Dragolix, hit that subscribe button for more insane dragon secrets, theories, and hidden details. Number 1, Hiccup could actually speak to dragons. And the books are completely different. What if I told you Hiccup's real superpower had nothing to do with flying? It was language. In the original How to Train Your Dragon books, dragons had an ancient language called Dragonese, and Hiccup was the only Viking alive who could speak it. While every other Viking relied on brute force to tame dragons, Hiccup simply talked to them. But here's where the books get truly wild. The dragons in the books weren't the giant, terrifying creatures from the movies. They were tiny, pocket-sized, small enough to hold in your hand. Even Toothless, the most iconic dragon in the franchise, was a small green dragon, basically a terrible terror, not a Night Fury. And then at the very end of the first book, 2 colossal dragons appear out of nowhere, the Green Death and the Purple Death, bigger than anything in the films. Hiccup defeats them not with fire or flight, but by using Dragonese to trick the 2 giants into fighting each other until they both fall. So here's the real question. Did the movies improve this story, or did they throw away something special? Number 2, the Light Fury wasn't attacking Hiccup out of aggression. She was protecting Toothless. Here's something the film never directly tells you. Every time the Light Fury went after Hiccup, dropping him mid-air, luring him close, then attacking. It wasn't random. It wasn't jealousy. It was a test. And once you know what she went through, it makes complete sense. Early in the movie, during the rescue of imprisoned wild dragons, the Light Fury was already there, hidden in her invisible form. And because nobody could see her, she was never rescued. She was captured and handed over to Grimmel, the man whose entire identity was built around hunting Night Furies to extinction. She survived whatever he put her through, and she got out alone. So when she finally sees Toothless, the last known Night Fury, flying around with a human on his back, what is she supposed to think? To her, that's not a partnership. That looks like control. Given what she'd just been through with Grimmel, that assumption makes complete sense. Every attack, every test, every time she got between them, she was asking one question. Is this human actually safe for Toothless? So was she protecting him or testing Hiccup? Honestly, probably both. Number 3, the real reason. Astrid fell in love with Hiccup, and it had nothing to do with Toothless. A lot of people assume Astrid fell for Hiccup because of the power Toothless gave him, but that's never what it was. Not even close. On the surface, Astrid looks like the perfect traditional Viking. Fierce, competitive, never wrong. But underneath that, she was never as narrow-minded as the others around her. She noticed the changes in Hiccup early. She chose to investigate instead of dismiss. And when she discovered the truth about Hiccup and Toothless, she didn't see power. She saw something nobody else had. A Viking who actually understood dragons. A person with a kind of talent the world around him had no language for. Compared to every hot-headed Viking trying to prove something, Hiccup was calm, thoughtful. He understood people's feelings. He led without needing to dominate. That kind of person gave Astrid something no muscle-headed warrior ever could: security. And as the series went on, she learned how to comfort him in ways tailored specifically to who he was. Whenever she was in danger, he panicked. He rushed to her. He worried in a way that wasn't performance. It was just him. Astrid didn't fall for the boy who tamed a dragon. She fell for the person he already was inside. Number 4, Hiccup and Toothless had already discovered the Red Death's weakness before the final battle. Here's a detail that changes the entire final act of the first movie. When Hiccup and Toothless defeated the Red Death by firing a plasma blast into its mouth, most people assumed it was a desperate gamble, and technically it was, but it wasn't a blind one. Long before that battle, Hiccup and Toothless were relaxing on an island together. A small dragon tried to steal Toothless's fish. Toothless fired a plasma blast directly into the little dragon's mouth, and the dragon's stomach immediately swelled with gas. Hiccup watched, and in that moment, something clicked. A dragon's insides are not fireproof. Hiccup filed that away. When the Red Death appeared, the dragon manual had nothing on it, no weaknesses listed, no strategy, but Hiccup already had one. He and Toothless had discovered it together on that island, quietly, without anyone watching. That wasn't luck in the final battle. That was a shared secret between 2 friends, used at exactly the right moment. Number 5, Astrid was never even supposed to exist. Here's something almost nobody knows. Astrid wasn't in the original How to Train Your Dragon books at all. The character who filled her role was a girl named Kamikaze, fierce, heir to another tribe, and meant to be a parallel to Hiccup from a different world. But DreamWorks scrapped her. The name sounded too close to a World War II term, and in the books, Hiccup was only 10 years old, which made the entire dynamic completely different. And here's the small detail hiding in plain sight in the movies. Hiccup explains that Vikings give their children ugly names to scare off gnomes and trolls. Snotlout, Fishlegs, even Hiccup himself. Those names follow the rule, but Astrid is a completely normal name, a beautiful one actually, which means even her name quietly sets her apart from everyone around her, an outsider in Berk before she ever said a single word. Number 6. The Light Fury is actually more powerful than Toothless, and we've never seen her real strength. Everyone assumes Toothless is the most powerful dragon in the franchise, the Alpha, untouchable. But after rewatching, there's a detail that completely reframes the Light Fury, and it's been hiding in every scene she's in. Think about her invisibility. Toothless needs time and positioning to charge his camouflage. The Light Fury can vanish almost instantly, mid-air, mid-flight, mid-attack. You cannot track her, and her speed isn't just about distance. She's more agile than Toothless, which makes every single one of her movements nearly impossible to predict or dodge. But here's the part that changes everything. She never actually fights seriously, not once in the entire film. Every time we see her, she's holding back. No full power attacks, no rage, nothing close to what she's truly capable of, which means we have never actually seen what the Light Fury can do. A dragon that disappears instantly, moves faster than anything in the sky, and has never once shown her real strength wouldn't just be dangerous. She'd be completely unstoppable. Number 7. The 5 most powerful female characters in How to Train Your Dragon. Rank. Number 4. Roughnut. She looks rough, spoiled, and chaotic on the surface, but when it truly matters, she and Toughnut become perfectly in sync. In the hidden world, she escapes Grimmel's captivity entirely on her own, using nothing but her own wit. Don't sleep on her. Number 3. Astrid. Elite combat strength, warrior level discipline, and she never once accepts defeat. When Hiccup surpassed her in dragon training, she didn't give up. She trained harder, alone, in private, until she caught up. Number 2. Valka. After 20 years living among wild dragons, her knowledge of every species is almost unmatched. Nearly every dragon in the sanctuary trusts her completely. She's not just a rider, she's one of the greatest dragon whisperers who ever lived. Number 1. She once faced a giant dragon alone and survived. She holds enormous influence, resources, and loyalty among the people of Berk. Can you figure out who she is before the next video? Number 8. The live-action dragons look nothing like the animated ones, and here's why that changes everything. The dragons in the live-action How to Train Your Dragon don't feel cute, and that's completely intentional. Where the animated versions felt like companions, almost like pets, the live-action versions feel like something you genuinely could not tame. Toothless is the clearest example. In the animated films, his large round eyes and square pupils made him look almost like a cat or a dog. His scales were subtle, soft, barely visible unless light hit them right. In the live-action version, his eyes are narrower, his skull is longer, sharper. His scales cover his entire body visibly. Detailed muscle structure and rough skin textures were added specifically to make him look more aggressive, less companion, more predator. The hideous zippleback lost its sharp reptilian neck flaring entirely. The monstrous nightmare went from a streamlined giant lizard to a bulkier, heavier beast covered in battle scars from years of fighting humans. Every design choice in the live-action version sends the same message. These creatures were never meant to be tamed, which makes Hiccup's friendship with Toothless feel even more impossible and even more meaningful. Number 9. Everything that makes the Red Death the most terrifying dragon ever created. Here's how overwhelming the Red Death actually is, and why defeating it should have been completely impossible. The Red Death is 121 meters long, 30 meters tall, several thousand tons. It has 6 eyes, giving it virtually no blind spot from any angle, 2 massive nostrils, and sharp hearing on top of that. You cannot hide from it. You cannot sneak up on it. You cannot outrun it. Its flames can destroy entire ships in a single blast, and despite its size, it can fly. It can maneuver in battle. The only reason it stays underground at all is because a body that large burns energy at a rate that makes constant movement impossible. So instead, it controls other dragons through sound waves, disturbing their minds and forcing them through fear to hunt and deliver food. If the offering isn't enough, it eats the dragon that brought it. And yet Hiccup and Toothless defeated it with one discovery: that its interior wasn't fireproof. One plasma blast into its mouth combined with wing damage, and the most terrifying creature in the franchise crashed and exploded on the ground. Its death didn't just end a battle, it ended an entire era. Number 10. Cloudjumper is the most underrated dragon in the entire franchise. Nobody talks about Cloudjumper enough. He's not the most powerful dragon in How to Train Your Dragon, but he might be the most complete. Before Toothless became Alpha, Cloudjumper ranked just below the Bewilderbeast in status among all dragons. And once you understand what he can actually do, that ranking makes perfect sense. His X-shaped wings aren't just iconic. According to the lore, they're the source of his extraordinary agility. When he spreads them fully, his flight performance increases dramatically, giving him a level of maneuverability almost no other dragon can match. That's why Valka never needed a saddle or reins. Cloudjumper's control is so precise that a saddle would only get in the way. His design is clearly inspired by an owl. Flat face, wide round eyes, a head that rotates with sharp night vision. His claws are powerful enough to tear through human skin and strong enough to rip open a metal cage to rescue rescue the riders during Grimmel's attack. And here's the detail that most people completely overlook. Early in the franchise, Toothless actually looked up to Cloudjumper like an older brother. At first, Cloudjumper kept his distance, but once he got comfortable, he shared fish with Toothless, played in the snow with him. And when Toothless finally became Alpha, Cloudjumper was the very first dragon to bow to him, the dragon who mentored the future Alpha. And nobody ever talks about him. And that's it. Which one hit you hardest? The Light Fury secretly being stronger than Toothless, or Hiccup and Toothless already knowing how to defeat the Red Death before the final battle? Let me know in the comments. Hit that like button if you want the next part, and make sure you're subscribed because we're uncovering even more secrets next time.